Somebody tell me why it took me 20 minutes to have my camera set up today. Did you all hear that? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, my name is Toden, and if you have, thank you for coming back. Today I have a new video for you guys, and it is going to be discussing 5 things that I've learned from being 23. So I am currently 24 years old in one day. I can't believe I'm 24. I swear I was 18 and then I blinked and now I'm 24. Like, that's actually so crazy for me to think of. But anyways, we're here, so let's get to it. So the first thing that I've learned from being 23 is the importance of prayer. I cannot stress this enough. This year has been really hard, but also really good. But the hard part required me to get into the habit of being able to like pray for myself, and just getting into that habit of praying constantly, like not waiting till it's in the night before I start praying, because sometimes like you want to go to bed and that's when you pray, but just praying throughout the day and like praying for myself, praying that my goals get accomplished and that, you know, that my ventures are fruitful. Yeah, but just learning to pray for myself, because I've been in very testy situations since turning 23, because that was also the same year that I graduated university, and this is my first year of like not going to any school, not doing anything since I was like 5 or 6 years old. So it is hard adjusting to that and just accepting that like this is my season for now, and also making the most out of that. So I have been definitely being prayerful, but also surrounding myself with people who are also prayerful and people who love me and pray for me and support me. The second thing I've learned turning 23 is the importance of my own time. For one, I feel like I've always been selfish with my time, but this year I've really understood that now that I'm not going to school anymore, it feels like there's a void in my life that's like waiting to be filled by something. And also for me, that leaves me with time, like having time. I don't have that much time because I still work full time. So just being selfish with that time and prioritizing my time and dedicating my time to things that I really am interested in and passionate about. Constructing my time in a way that is beneficial to me, and also knowing how to manage my time is something that I am still in the process of learning. Time management when you're in school is 100% different from time management when you're outside of school, because those are two different things. Like, you can be good at time management when you're in school and do really well, but once you graduate, having time management outside of that is another skill that I feel like is important to learn, and is something that I'm constantly working on. I have Google Calendar, I have the Apple Calendar, I have a notebook, I don't have sticky notes yet. I kind of let go of the sticky notes after school is done, but I have those things to kind of help me manage my time and try to use it as wisely as I possibly can. And also making choices that reflect the way that I value my time too. So no more time wasters. We left time wasters. Honestly, you guys, I left time wasters alone in 2018. I want to say that was when I was done. I was like, I am done with anybody wasting my time. I am done wasting my own time, because you know what? Time, I always say this, but time is really a commodity that you don't get back. So if you don't spend your time wisely, you will never get that time back, and all you're left with is regret of misspending your time, or spending your time in a manner that's not useful to you or to you, people around you. That is definitely something that I have learned to do in 2018/2019, so 2023 in general. The third thing is learning how to spend money. Oh my god, you know what? Life is very interesting. If you're privileged enough to live at home when you're in university and have your parents cover your finances and not having to pay for anything really, just, you know what, just marinate in it, enjoy it, but also save your money, because when you get to the real world, you'll get money, like you'll have a paycheck and then you just blink and it's gone. So for me, also knowing how to manage my money and how to save my money and how to say no to money spending activities as well. For me, I got an app on my phone called Mint. No, this video is not sponsored by Mint, but this is just what I do personally. So I'm just gonna like quick ramble, just don't skip the video. I see you, you're tempted to, but listen. So what the Mint app does is that when you put in your information, it assesses your debt and you can set a goal on how you want to pay off your credit card, and it just helps you keep track of your spending. So if you're overspending, it'll send you a notification saying you're spending too much and to curtail your spending habits, and it basically just helps you spend less money by monitoring how much you spend. So in the beginning of last year, not last year, around December, I realized that my credit cards were about $2,500 in debt. I was owing $2,500 on my credit cards total. And I was trying to pay it off, but it just wasn't getting paid off because one of my credit cards has the 19.99% and then the other one has an 11.99%. And I was trying to pay it off and I couldn't pay it off. And I realized that, this story will not make sense unless you know the situations around in the story, and I'm not ready to expose myself yet. But one of the things that happened, first thing that happened was my phone crashed, so I had to get a new phone. And I don't do contract payments on phones because it's against the person that I am. I just don't like them. Just buy the phone out and then it's yours and you don't have to worry if you lose it, whatever. So I bought out a phone, and then the second thing was I was displaced. So how else can I explain this? I was displaced. That's what it was. Almost homeless. So for me, that was how I actually got those credit card debts. And I had to pay it off, and I was working, you guys, I was working 5 days a week, and I still couldn't pay it off. And I realized the reason I couldn't pay it off was because, one, I still had my car insurance that I had to pay. I was still getting my nails done, and I was still getting my hair done, and that was taken out of my money. Oh, and I was still hanging out with friends. I would go for dinners and I would do all that stuff, and I felt like I was paying money, but then I was also spending it at the same time. So I had to just go back to basics. I stopped getting my hair done for months, and I also stopped getting my nails done. If you guys go back, you can see videos from I think maybe January or February when my nails weren't done, and that's because I was paying off my credit card. I was like, I am not spending $65 on my nails every 3 weeks and getting my hair done if I don't have my credit card paid. I'm literally gonna be in this credit card debt forever. So I stopped getting my hair done, stopped getting my nails done, and honestly I feel like that helped a lot because then I was able to pay it off quicker. When my tax refund came in the mail, it actually didn't come in the mail, it came directly to my bank account. I did not touch it. I did not have any money out of my tax refund that I got back this year. I took the whole thing, boom, dropped it in my credit card, and I was like, okay, now I'm done paying that shit. I will never touch it. You know how everybody says, I will never touch my credit card again, and then they go back to it? I haven't gone back to it yet. So that was a really huge lesson for me. And yeah, so for me, managing my finances, managing my money, and now I honestly just make a list of the things that are priorities for me. So every time I get paid, I will be like, okay, this is my insurance that has to come out. When I was paying my TELUS bill, this is how much I'm going to spend on TELUS, and all the stuff. I was just budgeting it down to the T so I wouldn't be in a situation where I'm hooped again. So that is that. Also on the money savings end was having a savings account. So I think it was 2 years ago I learned about having a tax-free savings account, a TFSA account that you can have. And I remember I went to the bank and the lady was like, just put $25 in there every month. And I was like, what kind of commitment is this? I don't want to be you guys, I'm so indecisive, so I have to think about things forward, backwards, left, right, front, center, every way thinkable for me to make a solid decision, because I never want to make a decision that I'm gonna regret. So for me, I was I was so apprehensive and very hesitant about making that decision. So I went back home and slept on it and marinated on it, and then just thought about it. I was I guess $25 is not that bad. So I went back to the lady and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm ready to commit. And I think that was one of the biggest things that I did. That was a really good thing for me to do, because by the time I would see the money in my bank account. There was a time like I even forgot to be checking it. Like I wasn't even checking it. And one time I just went and looked and I was like, holy mackerel, like this looks really nice. So that was really good for me. And then not just having one savings account. If you are in a place financially where you can have more than one savings account, girl, do it. Like just save your money. Don't be spending too much money. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. Literally, unless it's like something like rent or something like, you know, something that's gonna affect your credit card score or anything like that. If it's not gonna, there is no shame in saying no. There's no shame in passing on dinners. There's no shame in passing on activities because you can't afford it. If you have really understanding and supportive friends and they know what your situation is, like, they're gonna be understanding about it and they would just kind of let it go or invite you and like everybody splits it or whatever. Like I'm not sure what kind of friends you guys have, but I really do have amazing friends and it hasn't gone to that like terrible point yet. But whenever I pass on things, like my friends are understanding and they know, like they know about my life, so they're pretty understanding about it. So yeah, that is that. Money, I learned how to save money, you guys. Oh, I was literally homeless at a point this year. Like I'm not even kidding. I can't even believe I'm saying this. Like literally, like I had nowhere to stay and I was crying all the time and I was just so miserable. But you know what, God really did come through, so that's that. What was the next thing? I'm checking on my phone because I made notes. So the next thing is reading. So this year I have made an attempt to read one book. I know that's so bad, but you guys, I suck at reading books if they're not like school texts. Like I enjoy reading school texts or plays, but this year I actually went out of my way and bought a book. I'll show it to you one second. And this book I looked up online on Amazon and I think Indigo Chapters, and there were lots of like good reviews on it, so I decided to buy the book. It's called The Defining Decades: Why Your 20s Matter and How to Make the Most Out of Them Now. So it looks like this. And I actually read this book. I started reading it right before I went to Cuba and I finished it on the plane to Cuba, so I didn't have anything to read on the plane back. I was like, damn, I shouldn't have read it so fast. But it was a really good book because for me, it honestly, I feel like it was speaking to me in some areas, like just being more decisive, and because it was talking about people's real life experiences and how they were able to rise up against the situation, rise up from the situation and try to do the best that they could and just have a very fruitful life. And I thought that was really important for me because sometimes, like, I'm sure you guys have been in situations where you're in so much of a mess in life and you're just like, how am I supposed to get out of this? And honestly, reading books like this that are teaching people that you don't have to wait till your 30s till you start panicking and being like, fuck, I don't have a life. Like, how do I have a life? Or what do I want for my life? Or how do I want my life to turn out? I thought that this was a really good book and I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to anyone. And I really liked the approach that this woman who wrote the book took. Like, she wasn't babying the people that she was talking to. Like, she was really serious about the way that she was giving them advice, and she was very realistic as well. Because sometimes people give you advice and you're just like, bro, that's literally not realistic. Like, how am I even supposed to do this? But her advice was realistic and it's doable. So I like this book because of that. Because of this book, I also decided to, this book and other things, I also decided to start going to counseling and like seeking therapy, which is a whole different story. But I think that having guidance is really important. Having guidance from a non-biased perspective is a really good thing, because sometimes you have guidance but it's from a biased perspective, and that's not exactly what you need at the time. So yeah, that was really good. I'm going to get another book and read another one, but I'm not sure yet because I'm still in the process of like vetting the books and looking online and seeing all the reviews. Reviews are important to me because I feel like I go by whatever people say in the reviews and then I make my own decision based on that. And you know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes I never think I judge a book by its cover. I judge a book by its reviews. That's what I judge the book by. So I really did enjoy this book. The fifth thing that I've learned in being 23 is traveling. The importance of leaving where you are and going somewhere else and listening to other people's experiences and talking to other people. So for me, travel is not something that I grew up with. It's not something that, oh, that's actually a lie. It's not exactly something that I grew up with, but I had to travel because of my jobs when I was younger. Like, I had to go to like different places in Nigeria because of my job, literally. But not like, we weren't traveling for just to travel. We weren't traveling just for like to have a vacation. Like, it was just not a thing. So I've never grown up with the thought of like having a vacation or going on a vacation. And for me, that is like something that's now very important to me. Like, I think vacations are important. I think traveling is a good thing to see other people's cultures, other people's foods, to learn more about yourself and how you function. I particularly love solo traveling. I think I just like solo everything because I just feel like that's just the way I am. But I really do enjoy solo traveling. The times that I've traveled solo, wow, they've just been amazing. Like, I went to San Francisco, Toronto. Where else did I go by myself? I went somewhere else by myself. I don't remember, but I've gone to a couple of places by myself that I'm just like, wow. It blows my mind because I feel like I'm a very open person and I enjoy talking to people. And I think that just makes me work on that skill more and just have more people's skills. So for me, I really do enjoy that. And this year, I think even though it was like, this year was like broke year, you guys, I'm not even lying. I don't want to say Instagram's a lie, but this year for me was definitely very difficult. I did not plan on going on any trips, like, at all. I was like, I'm going to be so low-key. I'm just gonna save all my money and like not spend anything. But thankfully, like, I was able to go to places and I don't regret any of those experiences or the people that I went with or like the things that I did. I think it was all very, very fun and exciting and refreshing prior to coming back home and then going back into working and stuff. But also, traveling makes me realize like what I really want to do with my life. Sometimes when you're in the same place, you don't get to see things from another person's perspective that shifts your perspective. Like, if you're sometimes when you're in the same place, you just hear the same thing but like different narratives of the same thing. I don't know how to explain it, and then that almost becomes your own reality because that's constantly what you're hearing. But for me, when I travel and I get to talk to people and I get to see what kind of lives they're having and how they got to do that, it really does shift my perspective and how I view myself and what I want from life, how I'm going to get that, or how I'm going to go about getting that. So for me, traveling is very eye-opening. It makes me able to dream again and just like to not feel stuck in one mindset or stuck in one thing or feel like I'm forever plugged into one thing. It makes me feel like a 3D person, like I'm three-dimensional, like I can decide to do this today and commit to that and see how it works out, and that if it doesn't work out, that I have the confidence to try something else, try something different. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say though, out of all those 5 things, the biggest thing I think I've learned this year would probably be the money thing. Like, if you don't have the money to do the things that you want to do, you either go about finding ways to find the money to do the things that you want to do, or be sad that you can't do the things that you want to do. Like, money really does make a huge difference in people's lives. For me, that was a huge lesson. Like, literally, you guys, almost being homeless, shook my whole entire world around. I was like, homelessness is a thing. Overall, I'm thankful for all the lessons that I've learned in being 23. I'm looking forward to being 24. Well, it's not like I have a choice, really. I am 24 years old now. Oh my god, I'm actually every time I say I'm 24, like, I feel like I'm 18 on the inside. But yes, I am 24 and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to posting more on my YouTube channel. And I have been posting more on my YouTube channel. Like, I'm actually really proud because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start posting this year, but I've actually been posting. So yeah, I have more videos coming up for you guys, and I have more time coming up for you guys. So I'm gonna be able to post these videos, edit them, put them up, learn about more editing, put more editing, put it up, the whole cycle. But yeah, that is pretty much everything for today. If you guys like these videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are currently 3 months away from 2019 being done. Don't let anyone waste your time. Don't waste your own damn time. And stay happy, be blessed. I sound like a Nigerian auntie. Be blessed, my child. But yeah, that's everything, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.